Hey guys, welcome back to another video in the series. In this video, we'll be learning about structs. So what are structs? So structs are basically like classes. Now Go doesn't have classes, it has structs, which are like classes, but there's some difference to it. But like class, it has methods and it has fields. So let's get into it. Let's define a struct. So to define a struct, first what you do is you type in type, then you name your struct. So we'll call it user. Now one thing to remember in Go, whenever you name your struct or your function or your variable starting with a capital letter, it becomes public, as in other packages would be able to refer to it. But if you name your function or your struct or your variable starting with a lowercase letter, other packages won't be able to refer to it. It becomes private, right? Now because we are working with just one package, we'll name our struct starting with a lowercase letter. So we'll just call it lowercase user. Then we'll type in struct, and then we'll type in curly brackets. Now here you can type in all your fields. So we can say, so the first field we'll have is username, which will be a string, and we'll have age, which will be an int. Now the concept applies here too. If this field name username started with a capital letter, other packages would be able to refer to it, but because it's starting with a lowercase letter and even age is starting with a lowercase letter, it becomes private and other packages won't be able to refer to it. So that's how you can create a basic struct. So let's initialize this struct. So what you can do is, let's just say Jack. Okay, we'll name our user Jack, and we'll type in colon equal to, and we'll say user. Then we'll put in curly brackets, and we'll say username is Jack and age is, let's say, 18. Okay, and let's print it. Let's print Jack. Let's run it. Okay, we got an error. So 15. Oh yeah, we don't have a colon. So we'll run that again. So we got Jack and 18, right? Now one thing you can do is rather than typing in username and age, what you can do is you can just get rid of it, and you can just have Jack, 18. That is possible. However, this is not explicit. So usually you won't find people doing that, and you'll just find people actually typing in the keyword as well. So that's that. That's how you create a basic struct. Now you can also refer to a specific field. So you can say something like this, Jack username, and you get its username, and you can say age as well, and you'll get its age. Okay, now let's get into defining methods to a struct. Now in Go, there are two types of methods. There are value receivers and there are pointer receivers. Now we'll start with value receiver methods, and then I'll tell you the difference between value receivers and pointer receiver. So to define a value receiver method, you say func. You type in brackets, then we'll type in u, and then we'll say user. We'll say not struct, sorry. Then you can name the function. So we'll call it get email. It won't take any inputs, but it will give a string as output, and it will just return u dot username plus @example.com, let's say, and let's print jack.getEmail. So we get jack@example.com. So that's a method, that's a value receiver method. Now I'll tell you the difference between a value receiver and a pointer receiver. But before that, let's create a function, another method, sorry. We'll call it update username, new name. This will basically update the username, which will be a string. And we'll just say u.username equals to new name. New name. and we'll come down here, we'll say jack dot update username. Let's update it to random, and we'll print out the username. Now if we run that, we'll see that the username hasn't been updated. So basically a value receiver method cannot update the fields of the struct. So to do that, you'll need to define a pointer receiver method. A pointer receiver method can update its structs fields. Now all you need to do to define a pointer receiver method is just come up here and just type in an asterisk and save that. And if we run that, as you can see, the username did got updated to random. So that's basically how you define a struct. That's how you define a value receiver method. And that's how you define a pointer receiver method, which is just adding a star here. So that's it for the video. We'll meet you in the next video. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it. And in the next video, we'll be talking about interfaces. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye. Meet you in the next one.